Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 4 English lesson on articles. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. Grade 4. Once we've selected grade 4, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of articles. All right. So we see that our chapter is articles. Our subject is English Language Arts. Grade 4. And in the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of articles is to identify articles, and also to use the correct articles, which is a or an. All right. So when it comes to our chapter articles, right? We said articles are either words or letters like a, an, and the, right? So a, an, and the, they are special adjectives which we call articles. And if we look at an example, right, it says a banana. So we put the word or the letter, the adjective a in front of the word that does not start either with a, e, I, or you. And if you look at words like vowels, right? So vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So, and all the other letters we call consonants. So we use the word A in front of a word or a noun that starts with a consonant. Any other letter in the alphabet, but not a vowel. Like, for example, a banana, a dog, a cat, for example. And then we have words like, look, if you look at the word an apple. And the word an, we basically write in front of a noun that starts with a vowel sound. And vowels are A, E, I, O, U. And we have words like an apple. We have words like an orange. We have words like an elephant. We have words like an umbrella or an igloo. So we will have an elephant, an orange, an umbrella, an igloo. All right. Then we have the word the, and we have the orange, and the is in use if you maybe have used the word already. So we can maybe say, like, I ate an orange, and then you maybe say, the orange was sweet, right? So that is when we use the. And now, if we look at our sentences over here, we need to identify our articles, which is either a, an, or the. So we need to identify our articles that's either a, an, or the. It says, The horses galloped rapidly for several miles. So the horses galloped rapidly for several miles. If we look at that activity or that sentence, what is the article within that sentence? It says the horses galloped rapidly for several miles. And if we were to identify our article within that sentence, we would say it is the horses galloped rapidly for several miles. And if we look at the next sentence, it says, I will send Shannon an email about our party. I will send Shannon an email about our party. We need to identify our article within that sentence. All right, so if we were to identify our article, we will say, I will send Shannon an email about our party. So, N is our article. N is our article. And then the next one says, did Erin have an excuse for handing in her homework late? So did Erin have an excuse for handing in her homework late? And if we were to identify our article, we would say an is our article. All right. And now we specifically said that we have our articles or our special adjectives, which is called articles or words like a and the. So now we're just going to focus on a as well as an. How are we going to identify or how are we going to write a in an article as well as an in the article? And a and an are special adjectives which we call articles. So a we use a if the next word starts with a consonant sound, and consonants are any other letter in the alphabet that is not a vowel, and vowels are a, e, I, o, u. All right. And we see that we use an if the next word starts with a vowel. And remember, vowels are a, e, I, o, u. And it's like I said, yeah, like for example, we say an orange, the word starts with an O for orange. An elephant, the word starts with an E for elephant. An umbrella, the word starts with a U for umbrella. An igloo, the word starts with an E or I for igloo. So if we use the word an, if a noun or the next word starts with a vowel sound, and vowels are A, E, I, O, U. And here we have examples. We say, I asked for a banana, a banana. And if I were to write down the whole of the alphabet, then 5 letters of that alphabet are vowels. So vowels are words like A, E, I, O, U. That's vowels. And all the other letters in the alphabet we call consonants. So vowels, when it comes to vowels, then we use the article N in front of a word that starts with an A, that starts with an E, an I, O, or U. But A we use in front of any other word that starts with a consonant. For example, I asked for a banana, or she asked for an apple. And if we were to identify, or not even identify, if we were to write in either a or an within this activity that we have over here with the sentences, then it would say, it was, do we say a awkward moment because I forgot her name, or an awkward moment? The word starts with an A. So do we say a awkward moment or an awkward moment? Which one is correct? And if we were to identify or write in the correct article, we will say it was an awkward moment because I forgot her name. So we say an because an we use in front of a word that starts with a vowel sound. And the next one says, I want to play. Do we say a instrument or do we say an instrument, such as the flute or piano? Do we say a instrument or do we say an instrument? Our next word starts with an I. So do we say a instrument or do we say an instrument? And if we were to choose the correct one, we would say, I want to play an instrument because we use the word an or the article an in front of a word that starts with an I. And the next one says, we had fun in the robot until Jackson lost. Do we say a or do we say an or? We need to choose the correct one. A or do we say an or? And or starts with an O. So do we say an or do we say a? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct one, we would say we had fun in the robot until Chuck Jackson lost an or. Right? So we have our articles, and articles are special adjectives like a, an, as well as the. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to identify articles. All right, and we said we have words like a, an, and the that are special adjectives and we call them articles, right? Articles, we have either a banana, sorry, an apple, or the orange, right? And we use the word a or the article a in front of words that starts with a consonant sound. And we use N in front of a word that starts with a vowel sound. And if we look at one sentence, we need to select the article. We're either going to select the, a, or an within the sentence. It says, 200 years ago, did every young lady wear a bonnet or bonnet? So 2 years ago, did every young lady wear a bonnet? We need to choose the article within that sentence. And if we were to identify our, then we would say A is our article. All right, one more. Oopsie. We can say, you will need an extra blanket on this cold November night. So you will need an extra blanket on this cold November night. And if we were to choose the correct answer, we will say an extra blanket. All right, so now we're going to a test where we are going to identify articles, whether it's a, an, or the within a sentence. All right, we need to select either a, an, or the. It says Debbie is such a cheerful and helpful worker. So Debbie is such a cheerful and helpful worker. What is our correct article? Is it is or is it a? So we need to choose the article. Remember, articles are a, an, or the. And if we were to select the article, is it is or a? And if we were to select the correct article, we would say A, because Debbie is such a cheerful and helpful worker. So A is our article. All right, and it says, did Erin have an excuse for handing in her homework late? Did Erin have an excuse for handing in her homework late? We need to select the article. Is it an or in? Which one is the correct answer? And if we were to choose the correct article, we would say an is our article. An excuse. And an is correct. All right, the next one says the clothing is beautiful but too expensive for me. The clothing is beautiful but too expensive for me. We need to select the article. Is it the or is it is? So the clothing is beautiful but too expensive for me. Is our article the or is the article is? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct article, we would say the clothing is beautiful but too expensive for me, which means that we will select the article the. So the is our article. And if we look at the next one, it says, the horses galloped rapidly for several miles. The horses galloped rapidly for several miles. Which one is our correct article? Is it for or is it the? For or the? So the horses galloped rapidly for several miles. Is it for or the? We need to select the article. And if we were to select the article, we would say the, for the horses galloped rapidly for several miles. All right, let's look at the last one. It says you will need an extra blanket on this cold November night. So you will need an extra blanket on this cold November night. So is it an or on? Which one is the correct article? An or on? And if we were to choose the correct one, we will say an is our correct article. All right. So now we're going on to the next lesson, which is to use the correct article, a or an. We said a we use in front of a word that starts with a consonant sound, and n we use in front of a word that starts with a vowel sound. Right? And it says, I will carve. Do we say a pumpkin? Pumpkin starts with a P for my Halloween party, or do we say I will carve an pumpkin for my Halloween party? So I will carve a pumpkin for my Halloween party, or I will carve an pumpkin for my Halloween party. Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, we will say, I will carve a pumpkin for my Halloween party. Right? All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to either say, choose the article a or an, right? That we will put in front of either a vowel, a word with a vowel, or a word that starts with a consonant. All right, now do we say a giraffe's tongue is 2 feet long and weighs 20 pounds, or do we say an giraffe? So we need to say a giraffe or an giraffe. Which one is correct? A giraffe or an giraffe? And if we choose the correct option or the best article, we will say a giraffe's tongue is 2 feet long and weighs 20 pounds. All right, the next one says, did you see a, or do we say an brown mare among those horses? Did you see a, or do we say an horse? A brown mare, sorry, among those horses. We need to choose a or an. Which one is correct? And the next one says, okay, before the next one, we will say, did you see a brown mare amongst those horses? All right, let's choose the last one and then we are done. It says, do we say a janitor or an janitor at my school knows 3 languages? An janitor or a janitor at my school knows 3 languages. And if we choose the correct one, we would say a janitor at my school knows 3 languages. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on articles. We said articles are either words like a, an, or the, right? A, we add in front of a word that starts with a consonant sound, and an, we write in front of a word that starts with a vowel sound. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade 4s, for joining the class, and I really hope that you will have a good day further.